Hey all, and welcome back to Pokémon Colosseum. We're still in Realgam Tower, and I think there's a couple more admins that have yet to feel the brutal sting of justice. So I guess in this part we're going to be taking on Venus, the idol herself, as well as Ein, the not-father counterpart of ye old days.
Yeah, so we took down Mirabee, and we took down Dakeem, and we took down a bunch of Cipher PNs, which was a little bit weird, a little bit of filler in our boss rush.
Yeah.
But now we have, you know, it feels weird that we're going to be going back to Ein, given we fought him like 20 minutes ago in game time, basically.
God, I haven't even had time to like take my shoes off, fucker. At least let me have a cup of tea first before you rematch me IRL.
Yeah, but this is going to be another one of them parts where almost the whole thing is battling, so I hope you guys have something prepared, because I sure as fuck ain't.
Right, Bulbapedia, here we come. No stops on this fucking hacky shit commentary train, I suppose.
Yeah, I swear you owe Bulbapedia at least half of your ad revenue this month.
They can try and pry it out of my cold, dead hands. But there has been some new research on Meltan recently.
Yes.
And apparently it might have an evolved form, it might have a form with an E at the end. We just don't know, but sadly you will have to actually own Pokemon Go to be able to transfer it over to the Let's Go games, which is a bit of a crippling factor for those of us who shy away from mobile games and such. Like me, and I imagine Flame and you as well, Richie, perhaps?
Well, I mean, it's not that I shy away from open spaces, it's more that I'm lazy and don't go out.
Well, that's not what I asked, it was more about mobile games. You've just outed yourself as possibly the laziest member of HFC, because I wouldn't give an excuse. You, however, you have the facade of one who has a life.
I do indeed have the facade.
Rich is the laziest one here. He's the only one of us who's got a real job in this call.
I guess. I swear, Mum, I swear this will pay off one of these days. I'm still looking for stuff on Bulbapedia. Richie, it's your turn to bring up a topic, mate. What can you regale us with?
Well, I mean, one of the things that I was thinking about was why the hell are there no chairs in these buildings, like these dome things? It's just like all these admins and stuff are just standing around doing sweet sort of just like, yes, I'm just going to stand right in the centre here, waiting for somebody to enter my room so that they can beat me to get a keycard to progress. I don't think they thought this through at all.
Oh, it's the old idea of they're staying active. If you sit down, that's a sign of weakness, and you can't have that. You've got to be intimidating when people come and randomly pick the wrong door when they're looking for the seat to the stadium and see fucking Dakeem just staring them out.
Look, alright, rich people don't stand. They pay other people to sit for them, and then they just stand on top of their bags.
Yeah.
Is that an actual thing that they do, or are you
I don't fucking know, it's just part after part of fucking filler.
Yeah, that's not a thing that happened. That said, I have just been watching, I believe it's Elite on Netflix, which is actually quite good. This is like a Spanish sort of high school murder mystery type thing. Actually really good.
Okay.
Really quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Random aside.
I have no inkling of what Richie is talking about here. I thought he would do something tangentially related to this, but apparently not. I'm just going to look up a list of cross-generational references. Let's have a look.
Totally fine.
We're in Generation 3, so I might as well have a look at what it's got to like Gen 1 and so on. Brawley is said to have once trained alongside Bruno, who is a member of Kanto's Elite Four. Coincidentally, both of them also are fighting-type Pokemon trainers.
Good. I'm glad you put the trainers in there, because it sounded like you were going to say both of them are fighting type Pokemon, which, I mean, admittedly, considering, you know, what some of the fighting type Pokemon look like, wouldn't be that far of a stretch.
Yeah, I suppose
still.
so. Alright, the Oceanic Museum in Slateport City has 2 water samples on the top floor, one of which is from Kanto, although this reference was removed in Emerald for some reason. Its background music theme is also an arrangement of the SSN theme. There is also a miniature scale model of the SSN on the top floor of the Oceanic Museum.
Ah.
They took the theme from the original game and completely fucking butchered it in the Game Boy Advance sound chip theme.
Richie, do you agree with Flame at all? Like, do you like the GBA's sound font?
I think it depends on how it's used. From what I remember, I've not played any Game Boy Advance games in quite a while, so my memory, as usual, is a little bit foggy on it.
Well,
but...
try harder then.
But I mean, I don't remember it being that awful when you're playing on a Game Boy Advance and all that jazz. Obviously, it's not necessarily aged well, but as long as the tunes are done in such a manner that they work, the sound chip doesn't really ruin anything. It's like, for example, if you look at the DS's sort of sound chip is pretty okay, apart from when you do pretty hideous compositions with it, a la Sonic Chronicles.
Yes.
Which, it doesn't matter what sound the entirety of the system was able to produce, those compositions were just truly awful, and the instruments used were dire, and it's easily one of the worst soundtracks I have ever heard in gaming, ever.
Well, there's a lot of context behind that, more of which when we get to Sonic Chronicles in December, we're going from one RPG right into another one. One's quality, sort of, the other is not. Really not. But let's get back to my comfort zone of just reading off of Bulbapedia here. In Lynette's house, there is a computer displaying emails from Bill about the Pokemon storage system. On faraway Ireland, a series of smudged messages, which may have been left by Mr. Fuji, appear on a signpost. A boy in Lilico City says that he and his family came from the Kanto region, before he asks if there are any Pokemon only found in the Hoenn region, and in the Victory Road in Kanto, there is a small crater where Moltres used to be.
Yeah, because in Gen 3 in Fire and Leaf Green, they moved where Moltres spawns, because in Gen 1 he was in Victory Road, as you say, but in Gen 3 they moved him to one of the Sevii Islands. I think it's one of the ones that you can get to before the end of the game.
Yeah.
So you can still get him, and if you want to be a cheap shit like me and use legendaries in the later game, then you can do that. But yeah, because they expanded the game a fair bit in Fire and Leaf Green, I suppose they just wanted to have something a bit more substantial for the islands.
Yeah, I suppose. I'd like the Sevii Islands, mostly because you can never tell when they were going to end or not. It always seemed to be opening up new areas and stuff like that. I'm just really sad that I never was able to take on Deoxys myself or get to, I think it was Faraway Island that had Mew on it and whatnot.
I know that you can also get Lugia and Ho-Oh in some of them as well. I've done that before, 100% legitimately, of course,
Obviously.
Not any cheating tools at all there. but yeah, I do like these Sevii Islands, even if they're not the most memorable. I do tend to get that a lot with the Game Boy Advance games, despite having played them a lot, just because the art style, it's not got the whole retro thing to kind of appeal to me, but it also hasn't got it's not advanced enough to be fancy. It's just sort of the middle ground with visual styles.
Yeah, understood completely. Message received. Sorry, you kind of balked a bit there on my end, and it sounded like you were, I don't know, trying to mimic Missing No, I guess. But I've completely run out of stuff to talk about. Richie, scrape your brain for stuff related to Pokemon, mate.
Right.
Stop whining and just fucking do it.
Well, I mean, there's one sort of crossover that I believe that you did actually miss on that list. I don't know why Bulbapedia didn't mention it, but I'm pretty sure that the main character in the original, Gen 3, so Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, moves from Kanto to Hoenn, and that's sort of the whole big thing of why they start their journey there.
No, I think it's Johto, actually.
Oh, it's Johto. That's it. I knew it was they moved from another region. I mean, generally that's always the case, but that one's a particular one that sticks in my head. I don't really fully remember many other instances of where that actually happens.
Yeah, because in Gen 3, that was the one where you had the perfectly health and safety compliant travel route of just sitting in the back of the moving van without any sort of belt or strap or anything, with all the boxes not strapped down, so you could have got crushed at any moment there. It's fine.
Let's be honest, when you were a kid, that would have been the hypest shit. You weren't caring about safety. You just didn't have to sit up front listening to your dad go on and on about how he's going to run a normal type gym like a fucking pleb.
Well, I mean, you might change your tune a bit if a fucking box landed on your head and knocked you clean out.
Oh yeah, that is truly the rage of a normal type. I guess it would be wood if wood existed in the Pokemon universe, but wood just falls under like the subcategory of grass, really.
Yeah.
All the wood in the Pokemon universe is actually rocks. Cisodoido, you know, it's true.
This is also true.
Okay, but this Milotic here is the stand-in for Suicune on Venus's team. So, as we mentioned with the last Cipher admin rematches, this is the one that if you had missed Suicune, it would still be here, it'd still be level 40, and you'd still have to be careful not to knock it out, given the rest of your team will be much higher at this point in the game.
Right.
But yeah, that's one of the 2 down, and we're about halfway through the video, so that's kind of decent pacing on my part, I guess.
Well, of course.
Can you tell it's the first video of a recording session? We're nervous, the night is young, we're just flailing, we're just like a dick in space trying to get purchased, really.
Interesting metaphor.
That's a new one on me, I haven't heard that one before.
Alright, so Venus is off, she has a bunch of, I don't know... What the fuck is that? I'm your Venus, I'm your fire, your desire thing. It was like shaving cream for women, wasn't it? For legs and such.
Yes, that song has been used in an advert for I think it's shaving stuff generally. Yeah, I believe it's actually it's a Venus razor blade type thing.
There you go. I knew there was some loose connection here that I could drag in some commentary with. Alright. I wonder how Ein feels about being secluded over here. I guess out of the 4, he probably likes it the most, and I would say Mirabee and Venus would like it the least, because they're creatures of social popularity, I suppose. They need to have an audience.
Yeah.
And then there's Dakeem in the middle who, I guess he's the intimidating tough guy, and that kind of stereotype, they tend not to be too smart, so I don't know if he's just screaming and shouting at the door, intimidating it, not noticing there's no people there. I don't know. But yeah, Ein seems like the kind of guy who might get a bit restless though, just standing here on his own. He looks like the kind of person who might be wanting to get on with stuff, given he's the engineer. He's been actually doing the brainpower stuff behind the Shadow Pokemon scheme.
Yeah, he gets an email from his boss. Go stand in this room until Wes comes along and you fight him again. Can I at least take my laptop in to check Twitter and whatnot? No, you just gotta stand there. Fine, he says. Fine, says Ein, and I say, this is Ein's team. He has a Crobat at level 48, a Pelipper at level 49, a Rhydon at level 50, a Starmie at level 49, and a Magnetric at level 50, which I assume takes the place of, what was it, Raikou, Flame?
Yeah, Magnetric stands in for Raikou here, which it's an electric type. I actually really like Magnetric's design. It's one that has grown on me a lot over the years. I sort of appreciate the spiky thing. It looks like it could run really fucking fast if you wanted to. Not that I know how his speed stats work, because I'm not smart.
Well, there is a world of information right at your fingertips, Flame.
Yeah, but you're the one with the page open, so chop chop.
I guess so, yeah. What was it you wanted me to look up?
Is Magnetric fast? Look up his speed.
I'm pretty fucking sure he's fast, even without looking that shit up, mate. But since you asked so nicely, I'll do it for you, and then I'll do it again, because I got nothing else to talk about here. Its speed is its highest base stat, tied with special attack, so that's 105.
Nice.
Makes sense, yeah. From what I can tell from the rain dance going on, Ein is still using his Make It Rain Spam Thunder attempt. I'm not sure if you have a look at his moveset, he may have some other things going on, like some of the others adapted their strategy a little bit. But given he had quite a complex strategy to start with,
yes,
especially when you considered that he also had the protect element to it as well, from what I recall. So, he probably didn't need to do too much to buff himself up.
Alright, Crobat's moves. Protect, Toxic, Fly, Bite. Pelipper's Rain Dance, Toxic, Fly, Surf. Rhydon, Dig, Rock Slide, Protect, Toxic. Starmie, Thunder, Psychic, Rain Dance, Hydro Pump. And Magnetric, Thunder, Bite, Toxic, Protect. So Starmie is the only one that does not have Toxic. So Ein is pretty fucking prepared here.
Yeah, Ein says bad things on social media, so there you go.
Stop getting triggered by words, Flame. This thing works both ways,
Well, I mean, it's more critiquing the use of a buzzword, but hey.
Yeah, I understand, mate, I understand. People use words too freely nowadays, and then they just lose their power, and then the point they had just dissolves in a puff of smoke, really.
Yeah, and also some people decide to use words that should never have existed, and they somehow become common parlance, and then you sort of just look at it and you just go, seriously, who thought that was a good idea? Please stop speaking.
Richie, it's okay, you can call Flame a Pokemon cook, you know.
Well, no, I was mostly talking about things like on fleek and lit and all those other.
Well, someone clearly has no
words.
fucking swag.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I can't be doing with modern day slang sometimes these days.
You're never gonna pull pifting like that, you know.
But yeah, it's moments like these where I feel old and I'm just like, I feel I should be up with all the lingo with the kids, and it's just like, nah, don't get it, don't like it. I'm a grumpy old person, so that's fine.
Yeah, you're old, Rich. Everyone is older than me here, so I can say that.
Excellent contribution, Flame. You have done precisely fuck all on this part so far, other than retort.
Well, I mean, if I'm gonna get picked on and called a Pokemon cuck, then I've got to have a comeback for that, haven't I?
Yeah, well, maybe you should try and get one then.
Fuck you.
There you go. See, Richie, he's learning. What else could I fucking pull out of stats and whatnot? Mega Manectric's speed and attack are 135, so he gets a 30 plus boost on those stats and whatnot.
Holy
Jesus.
shit.
Which is nice, but you do have the whole thing of Mega Manectric not actually looking all that good, because it ends up with this sort of basically a lightning bolt body for its main, and it's just like, you think that looks cool, actually no, it really does not. Put it away. There's a couple of Mega Evolutions where it's just like, what were you thinking with that design?
I'm looking at him now, he is fucking cool, I love this design. Like, he's just got one massive yellow, it's almost like a shield on his back made of lightning, it's fucking amazing.
Amazing?
Get better taste, Rich, just saying.
Coming from you.
Yes, Philippa, that sure is an animation that doesn't look like you're in chronic pain when you're using that.
Well, maybe that's where his vast mouth goes to, the pits of hell. He is always currying the damned to their final destination.
Or he's the postman, one of the two.
Well, I mean, actually, in the Mystery Dungeon games, he is the postman, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at, but yeah. I've never actually played any of them games that much. I remember I had the Game Boy Advance one, or actually it might have been like the DS equivalent of the Game Boy Advance one that I played a bit of, but I never really got into that gameplay style.
Yeah, I did. I loved it. So yeah, it would have either been Red Rescue Team or Blue Rescue Team. Red was on the GBA, Blue was on the DS, and it was weird when they got released because obviously it was when the Game Boy Advance and the DS was sort of coexisting a little bit. Which is always a weird prospect. It's sort of like the Switch and the 3DS now, except obviously the Switch is very much more home console-y, and the 3DS is still very much portable console-y, even though they do technically sort of fill a similar space. And yeah, it was
Get
weird.
to the point,
But
Rich, come on, chop.
what was nice is that with the covers, they actually linked up, so I believe one of them was looking down into a pit, and the other cover was inside that pit, which was a nice little tying together. And also just Mystery Dungeon in general has a really good story, and you really should play it at some point.
During that period of time, the spin-off that grabbed me the most, aside from obviously Colosseum and XD, I remember Pokemon Ranger being quite fun.
Oh,
yes! Even if that did completely murder my original DS's bottom screen, like, you do a lot of drawing circles on that thing over and over, especially against that fucking Charizard, like, toward the end of the game.
God, I know. Yeah, Pokemon Ranger was also quite fun. I would say that ultimately the best one of the Ranger games was Pokemon Ranger 2 Shadows of Almia, because that managed to have the a better gameplay style in terms of you didn't have to do one continuous loop around the enemy Pokemon, so you didn't have the awfulness that was that Charizard of having to do like 50 circles without breaking. But also it had a really, really engaging story, and it was really fun and exciting. And then I played Guardian Signs, and it just didn't quite do it for me in the same fashion, and it was just like, oh, I really liked Shadows of Almia, and now, you know, we don't have any more Pokemon Ranger, and it's just like, oh, I liked that series.
Well, we had that film that was wonderful, didn't we? But yes, what is happening here is we got an email from Egan, who, like a complete fucking boomer, he cut his email off halfway through, so we've got to go check in on him and make sure everything's alright. Although it is going to be worth our time, and you'll see exactly what I mean when we get there.
It better be a house made of gold.
It's probably just as valuable in this economy.
Oh, interesting. Is it going to be another time flute?
No.
Not quite, no. It's going to be something that we will actually make use of.
Yes, I think I do remember what this is, and if it is what I think it is, yes, it's goddamn frickin' useful.
Alright, I'm keeping an eye on that clock. I will not, and I repeat, I will not stop before the time this time.
Fucking better not.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay. Aww.
Here's an old boy learning how to use his computer. Good on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, come on, make with the gifts. We have a region to save? Like, are Shadow Pokemon all that bad, really?
You can't try and weasel out of doing the work now, come on, but there we go. There is our Master Ball. So, when we have our Pokemon, which we will have some with incredibly difficult catch rates in the upcoming path, there will be one in particular I'll make use of.
Very
this
nice.
Master Ball with.
Very nice. So, just keep it on standby for now, and when we get to it... Oh, that sucker is going down in one ball throw. See you next time for more of this. Bye-bye.